Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Punjab Information Technology Board, I would like to welcome you all to the first session of our CEO Talk series on IT Entrepreneurship. We are very fortunate to have Mr. Zafar Khan, CEO of Sofizar, speak at our inaugural event. Zafar Khan, a graduate of Caltech University, founded Sofizar in 2004 and has been its CEO since inception. Sofizar is a business-to-consumer internet marketing firm based out of Lahore, with all its consumer clients in America and Europe. Sofizar does over $20 million in sales and was the winner of the first MIT Business Acceleration Plan. It also ranked number 6 in the Harvard All-World Ranking of Pakistan 25 from the year 2007 to 2009 and is part of Asia 500. It's an honor and a privilege to have you with us, sir. Before we begin proceedings, I would like to give you a brief overview of why we at the Punjab IT Board feel these talks are important. As you know, the IT industry has seen tremendous growth over the last few years. There are presently about 1,400 IT companies in the country, some of them headed by extraordinary individuals who, through their creativity and innovation, have transformed small ideas to generate big success. We feel that the stories of these visionaries can be excellent learning ground for the thousands of IT graduates and professionals Pakistan produces every year, people such as yourselves. We hope that by listening to their journeys of overcoming challenges and confronting obstacles to set up business that others aspire to emulate, you too will be inspired to start up your own company. And hopefully, in another few years, one of you amongst the audience will be up here on this forum as a speaker. We at the PITB plan on having these sessions on a regular basis. In fact, our next session is scheduled for April 28, 2012, where we hope to see all of you again. Now, before I request Mr. Zafar Khan to come on stage, I would like to call Umar Farooq for a recitation from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم صدق الله العظيم.
Now, without further ado, I'd like to call upon Zafar Khan to begin proceedings.
When you guys think of entrepreneurs, who do you think of? Just think about that for a second. Who do you think of the most or first when you think of entrepreneurs? You may have your own mental images as to who is the one person or entity that you can think of entrepreneurs, but the first person I would think of would be this person. If you guys have seen Looney Tunes, Wile E. Coyote, okay, he's always very confident, very persistent, very creative, and is a big risk taker. So I'd like for you guys to remember that. See, he has crazy cool ideas, tying himself to a rocket ship, trying to bomb the Roadrunner into capturing him, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind, and we'll have the talk, and I'll talk more about Wile E. Coyote. So I'll start with my story a little bit. I graduated from Caltech in electrical engineering. I did some very geeky jobs at optimizing compilers, and I was employee number 16 for a company called Gemstar, where I worked for 7 years. And I got some patents. I got to travel the world. I stayed for 2 years in Hong Kong, in Boston. I became very, very rich because that 16-person company one day became a 3,500-person company with a $35 billion market capitalization. It was a huge, huge success. And at this point in time, around 99, 2000, during the dot-com boom period, I thought I'm quite young, and I never have to work again in my life. I have over $10 million, everything is good. All right. And then I left Gemstar, and I launched my first company called Prime DTV in Shanghai. So life is really, really good at this time. Unfortunately, life is not that simple ever. I also participated massively in dot-com bust. The dot-com completely crashed. From $10 million, I went to pretty close to zero. The company that I formed had great partners. Our client was Shanghai Broadcasting. That's the equivalent of the largest media company in, say, Pakistan. And they did not pay us beyond the first 20%. So it was a terrible experience. And then right after the Prime DTV failed, I had a terrible accident in Hong Kong, and I had a car run over me, and I was diagnosed with cancer. And that happened in the same month. So after all those good times and misfortunes, I decided to get married. And when I was thinking about getting married, and I used to live in the US at that time, and my wife lived in Europe, so we were trying to think of a good place where we could immediately get married, and US had some long bureaucratic process for having my wife come to live there. So we wanted to get married immediately and start living together. So we thought, we actually researched pretty much every country in the world, and we found only 2 countries which would allow us to get married and live together right away. One of them was Dominican Republic, and the other one was Pakistan. So we chose Pakistan. And so we are in Pakistan, and you can very much say I'm a misfit, so to speak, and I don't have very much money. And I wanted to work in a very fast-changing market called search engine marketing, which is changing very fast. And I'm starting a business in a country that all of us in this room are familiar with. And sometimes we exaggerate the problems as well, about bandwidth, about power, about gas, basically infrastructure. And very few financing opportunities, a lot of would-be entrepreneurs worry about not having VCs. The angel investors don't trust them with money. There's no way to. So I had, of course, the same issues. And there is at least a rap of Pakistan having a VIP culture, a graft culture, rishwat culture, whatever it is. And now I did not want any part of it. And the market in Pakistan, in many ways, is a very tiny one, and people don't get paid. Same problem as Shanghai Broadcasting. You do the work and you don't get paid. And the other problem is the MNC culture, multinational corporation culture. The smartest people don't want to work in a startup in a basement in general. and they want to work in, let's say, Procter and Gamble, Lever Brothers, or some cigarette company. And so you can say I'm a underdog to the par 3, right? And can I survive in this place? Can I thrive? And can I be world class? Can I make the same money I once made? I'd never, even though I lost every penny of it, it never left my mind that I was worth anything less than that.
As Zafar have already told you that the dot-com bubble had busted, and during that time I was also looking for a job opportunity, and one fine evening I got a call from Zafar from the US, where he said that it's a small startup which he's working on, and I got pretty excited because during that time job opportunities in the US were pretty limited, and I was hoping that the startup was going to be in the US. But later in the week, when I got the telephoning interview call, I found out that the startup was going to be in Pakistan and I was going to be placed here. So we had a good session on the phone, and then after that I had an interview session with Zafar at his home. I think we at that time also had blackouts, electricity, and it was pretty hot. The interview session went pretty well, although Zafar quizzed me on many mathematical questions and I passed somehow or the other. And then came in the next part, working for a startup which was very unique and new for me, setting up the office at the home, at Zafar's home. We brought in the desktops, the furnitures, and completely set up the office over there. Zafar's father was looking after the accounts at that point in time. I think he still is. And it was totally a hardcore startup working and functioning in Pakistan, which was pretty new for me. And Zafar was the source of inspiration at that point in time. He was very energetic, always thinking ahead. I always thought that he is the man with the plan and he knows what exactly he's doing. After that, although I switched my career, but I've been in touch with Sofizar on many occasions, and I've tried to help Zafar on many times. And for every one of you who is here, I personally feel that Sofizar is the best example of a startup in difficult conditions, which Zafar have already mentioned. And if you want to start up small in Pakistan, you can make it really big, and that too globally. For that, I would like you to stay in touch with Zafar and take inspiration from him. Thank you very much, and I would like to invite Zafar back again.
Okay, so this is a picture. I like pictures somehow, and this is a picture of a spiral staircase. So when you look at it, you can't really tell if it is going up or down. That's kind of what a startup is like. You don't know really where you are in that loop and which way you're going, but you're going in one of those directions. So anyway, so the first question I had was, who wants to work in my basement? And Usman was crazy enough or brave enough to do that in the beginning. And when you have no money, the first and the easiest thing and the most obvious thing is outsourcing. So that's pretty much how we started out. And we created, I and another person thought of a product called Organic PPC. I thought it was a good idea, and we got financing from it in the US. We hired about 10 or 12 people using that financing, and who bought the vision and jumped from very, very established, good companies. And of course, the financing fell through. So after first 2 months, I had a whole project plan. It was going to take about 12 to 15 months to develop the product. And I had all these people, and beyond the first round, they were scared of investing more money into Pakistan. So it ended right there. However, and on top of that, when you're talking about bad things happening to you, you guys can just sit on the side. You know, it's very informal. And we discovered click fraud there are people